Hey everybody, this is Kyle. This is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. It is Saturday. It's about 2:30 p.m. July 11th, July 11th, 2020. Sorry. I wanna go through some important information today. Just had lunch with my dad. I just told him about the UN investigation that Niels Meltzer had declared that cyber torture is happening. Told him about the September session. It was actually a pretty positive experience. So I would be feeling really well. I would be feeling good if I wasn't, targeted so severely. My attackers are just really crushing my head right now. I got the ringing in my ears, but I'm going to try and get through this, guys. It may take a little while. Please stick around because I want to show some important information. I just wanted to show this up front. I ordered some zeolite, and if you guys remember, I showed a Plain Truth 5's channel where he was showing this Zeoforce. And they were pouring it into wine that somebody had spit out, where there was like Morgellons on the plate, and the Morgellons was actually trying to get away from it. So I ordered some of this. I just started taking it yesterday, but I think this is really promising. It's kind of the same thing. Zeoforce, the manufacturer of Zeoforce, is no longer exists. So I think we're going to have to do the Zeolite, $25 for like a month supply, about a month supply, and I'm pretty hopeful about it because I think we have a lot of nanoparticulate, Morgellons, biofilm type stuff that this could cleanse out of our body. Let me show you real quick, and I'm just going to go through this real quick. I'll probably talk about it on future live streams. I've got so much stuff that I want to show. I'm going to have to do a live stream soon. But I've just been feeling, it's been tough. It's tough to get motivated and tough to get my body and my mind going. I know you guys understand that. But I really want to go through this information. Stick around. This is just the beginning. I just want to show y'all this stuff about zeolite. I think it can be very, very promising. Can get us to October, So zeolites have a porous structure that can accommodate a wide variety of cations, such as is that niacin? Wait, potassium. What's that? What's Na? I don't know what Na is. But potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Is that niacin? And others. These positive ions are rather loosely held and can readily be exchanged for others in a contact solution. Some of the more common mineral zeolites are analcime, chabazite, clinoptilolite, and that's what's in zeolite. The C one, clinoptilolite. I don't know how to say that. But an example of a mineral formula of a zeolite is blah blah blah. The formula for natrolite. These cation exchange zeolites possess different acidity and catalyze several acidic catalysts. Natural zeolites form where volcanic rocks and ash layers react with alkaline groundwater. Zeolites also crystallize in post-depositional environments over periods ranging from thousands to millions of years in shallow marine basins. Naturally occurring zeolites are rarely pure and are contaminated to varying degrees by other minerals, metals, quartz, or other zeolites. For this reason, naturally occurring zeolites are excluded from many important commercial applications where uniformity and purity are essential. So it basically, what it does is it basically binds to certain toxins in the body, which, Morgellons, nanoparticulates, funguses mixed with heavy metals would be those. It binds with them and then flushes them out of the body. I think it's very promising. I'm going to let you guys know probably after like a week or two of using it, but I'm going to have to use it for a while. How our attackers do the, psyoping, trying to make you think something works, but you got to use it for a while, right? Okay, so let me get to it today, guys. So I'm going to read some of the naysaying things, and I'm going to show you what I researched. And I'm going to show you why there is something to this. We're going to look at my ASN number, and I'm going to show you some things that should not be there. Just should not be there. weapons manufacturers, lots of them, weapons manufacturers, tech companies, and stuff like that, where it could be no coincidence. It could not be just another corporation on my information network. There's no way. There are some that make sense, like there's a PlayStation one, an eBay one. When I've gone to eBay and I tried to buy something, which the guy canceled the order because I'm not a regular eBay customer. That's a whole other, long ass story. But there's some that make a lot of sense, and I'm going to show you what I forgot what it's called, but it's basically a temporary ASN number when somebody connects to your network and they're collecting data from you. And then there's some corporations that would be on your ASN number, and they're just sharing an information network. So some of them, they're not going to be that suspicious. We're probably all going to have them, but I want to show you the really suspicious ones. So there's something to this. Let's listen to SHP for like a minute. Let's hear her explain this, and then I'm going to go through the process with mine. You guys can even look up mine if you want to, but you should see the websites up at the top. I'm going to put it put it in the description and put a link to this video. Let's listen to her for a second here.
The fact, with enough DIs in different parts of the world, that every targeted individual has an ASN number. So this is the gobbledygook for all of what it means to have an ASN number. So in a nutshell, when you have an ASN number, you're registered either as a business corporation or as a government entity. All right. So I'll paste in the description box what this stuff is. What is a peer? Okay, so a peer is associated as having a relationship with the corporation or the business.
Now,
so it's a customer.
Okay, we're gonna watch this. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna explain. You have an ASN number. I don't think it's necessarily you are the we are considered stocks, and people do buy and sell our data and treat us as if we are commodities. But an ASN network is really mine's like AT&T4, and I'll show you guys. And it's really a larger network, right? It's not just me as an individual. However, temporary ASN numbers made up by certain weapons manufacturers, hospitals, Department of Homeland Security are created when they connect to that network that you're on. Now, like lining all this stuff up and cross-referencing it, and finding out exactly, cross-referencing it with other applications and evidence we're finding. Now that's going to be a process. But the bottom line of this video, and I'll show y'all, you will see why this is really suspicious, and she's on to something. I didn't first see this on her video. I heard it from my friend. My other targeted individual friend is doing it based off of what she's doing, and he's finding a lot of evidence. And then I saw her video. Me and some other targeted individuals have been talking about it, and they showed me some of the comments, and I'll show you these comments. It's people saying, this is disinformation and we're not going to find anything and blah, blah, blah. So I want to show those, and then I want to show y'all what I researched. Let's just do it for a little bit longer. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. My brain is on fire. I've got it's like cicadas, but almost sizzling in my ears. But this is some important information, guys, so hang with me here.
In computer networking, peering is voluntary interconnection of administratively separate internet networks for the purpose of exchanging traffic between the users of each network. Peer definition: peering is settlement free, also known as billing for senders and all. Okay, so that's peering. So upstream peers. A transit peer is someone who you go through in order to reach the internet. You transit their network to reach other networks. Many folks use the term upstream provider when talking about someone they buy their internet from. Okay, so now that we know that, let's try to get our ASN number. So we're going to go to, we're going to go to here. So we're going to go to this ipinfo.io.
Okay, guys, so that's the first step. You go to ipinfo.
Right-hand corner, and you look for your ASN.
My attackers are like hacked into my screen sharing
So
software.
now you've got your ASN number. What do you do with it? So we're going to.
I left my computer on when I left for lunch, and so they've hacked it and are freezing it up right now.
I'm in Canada, so you can find all kinds of information on the fact that you are an parent corporate entity. Oh yes, this is highly illegal, but we'll go for it.
Okay, so let me read you guys some of these comments from the naysayers, and I'm going to show you all what I found. Let's read what she says here first. She says, did you know that every single targeted individual has an ASN number? That means they are corporate business or are a government entity. Now, I believe that I think that we are traded kind of as commodities or stock, and then certain people can tap into our data and things like that. I think that the ASN number represents a network that you're on. It's not necessarily you as an individual, but still we can still find evidence of people creating ASN numbers to attach to our account. Now, there are going to be some people on our ASN number that are supposed to be there. They're just sharing the network or going through a certain internet, like a certain internet group. But there are certain people that, like, there's evidence we can find. We can find very suspicious corporations. I'll show you guys. People are finding other targeted individuals. My friend in Canada found like 11 or 12 pages. Another target individual found like a couple of pages, maybe like 5 or something like that. SHP has like, I think 9 or whatever. I have 63. I have 63 on my ASN number, and they're some of the most, like almost every weapons manufacturer is on there. So let me get to that, but first, okay, so that means they are a corporate business or are a government entity. Every single TI is on the exact same international network. So some of them we're going to share on our ASN number. So I'm gonna read something to y'all in a second about ASN numbers, but I wanted to read this one because then I looked up and I researched. Another TI was like, look, these are targeted individuals that have been in IT, and they're saying that anybody on your ASN number is just sharing the network. But there's some on my ASN number that are just too suspicious just to be businesses in the area sharing the network. Okay, hold on one second. Thought it was really okay. So H. Michael Sweeney, he's a pretty well-known targeted individual. I do think he's wrong. I think he's right in a certain way, but I think he's wrong in a certain way. So he says, no, this is misinformation and serves no value to a targeted individual or anyone else. An ASN number is simply an internet routing code which, in simpler terms, enables determining the correct server hops in any given web transaction. There are not enough ASN numbers to represent individuals such that many people in a given area or a given ISP will have the same ASN. And I believe that is true, but let me show you something where we can definitely find suspicious corporations attaching to our data. And I think that it's not just your computer and your phone. I think that I have implants, and I think that's going to be on my ASN number. It's going to be coming from satellite to cell tower to the actual implant, and it's going to be on that same network. Somebody else kind of says that may not be true. We've got to find out more about this, but once I show you my ASN number, you're going to see that there is definitely something to this. That's the bottom line. And we all need to be looking into it, and just don't do anything rash. We need to compile evidence and then just screen record and do all that, and then figure out what we're going to do with it. Maybe maybe give it to the UN, or whatever. We're going to figure out what to do with the evidence, but there's something to this. So, quote on Wikipedia or any other web resource, an autonomous system, AS, is a collection of connected internet protocol routing prefixes under the control of one or more network operators on behalf of a single administrative entity or domain that presents a common, clearly defined routing policy to the internet. Originally, the definition required control by a single entity, typically an internet service provider or very large. Now, SHP says, actually, no, it is only assigned to commercial entities. I have never tied my medical data or hospitals or my workplace to my ASN. It should not be there, so it is direct evidence. Now, I agree with her. I think there are some people, I do not think your ASN, I think your ASN number is like your internet network, like, because mine's like ATT4. But I think some people are on there. They're on a shared network, and they should be there. It's fine. It's not incriminating or suspicious. But then something is created, and I'll show you in a second. It's a temporary ASN number for corporations, hospitals, insurance companies, people who are collecting your data, who are connecting to your wireless network, which I think includes implants in the body. So I'm going to show you some evidence of that in a second. So RC Babylon, I'm already suspicious, kind of. Sorry, RC Babylon, if you're for real, but you got a pyramid and your name has Babylon in it. All devices that pull a public IP address has to be reassigned to an ASN number. The ISPs in North America go through blah, blah, blah. The ASN is the IP block that an ISP or business is given so they can keep track of who has what. If you want your own ASN like a hospital or small business, you can put in a request for a small IP block, and you wouldn't have to sign up with Bell or MTS for internet. And will be given your own ASN number. A lot of internet exchanges do this. Internet exchanges. Like, so it's people on a shared network. There's some that aren't suspicious, but then there are some, and I'll show you, there are some that's like with Sony PlayStation. I connect to PlayStation. They show up on my ASN number because they're collecting data from my network. And then there's like eBay, where I tried to make that purchase. Now eBay connected to my network, and a temporary ASN number was created. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but it's exciting. It's kind of mind-blowing when you look at mine. Please stick around. Like, seriously, guys, please stick around. I'm just trying to kind of go through information to kind of go through what everybody's kind of saying about it, and then show you what I found. A peer would most likely be an ISP buying bandwidth from a peer. Same with business, hospital. They would sometime want to route through a peer for quicker speeds in routes, and same for customers that buy a link route through a peer. So it's complicated. This is right. I worked at Dell, and I don't even completely understand this, but I can look at my ASN number and say there's some very suspicious stuff going on, and there's something to what SHP is doing. TIs don't get an assigned ASN number. TIs that have internet that can go through an ISP is given an IP address on the internet, and that ISP will require an ASN number. Also in your list where it says customers, that means that org is buying a peer link through a provider, aka Bell, meaning if the hospital's maxed out bandwidth, it will then start to route through Bell. There's many different reasons to back up routes. Now, but you know, I'll show you guys. I have like eBay and PlayStation and some things where I've like connected to Amazon, that I've connected to them on the internet. When I connected to them, they connected to my wireless network. And then there's some that I've never ever even mentioned on videos, not gone to their website, weapons manufacturers that are connected. They have temporary ASN numbers, and I'm going to show you the proof of that are connected to my network, which I believe includes implants on my ASN number, because it would be your whole wireless network. So they would be able to send wireless energy to your computer, your phone, and if you have implants in you, be able to send directed energy to those too. And then there's other layers, right? There's other layers to this. There's over-the-horizon radar. There's some really complicated stuff. But my bottom line in this is showing you guys some evidence, backing SHP up on what she's doing. And we all need to be trying this stuff and cross-referencing different information we find on applications with things that we find tapped into our ISP numbers and ASN numbers, and then we can come to some logical conclusions about who is hacked in to our computer, our phone, even us. You know, even us. So peel back layer by layer. and I think we just have to be smart about it. I don't think we should dismiss this, and I want to be very clear on that. I don't think we should dismiss it at all. I think that would be a bad idea. Okay, so SHP says we should not be directly connected to labs, hospitals, robotics, and according to this, businesses and corporations are only provided in ASN. Uplinking and downlinking to your network from local hospitals on your network, including medical carding systems, should not be on your network. I agree. I agree with SHP. There's some suspicious stuff on here where it's not just like, oh, okay, well, these companies are just companies in the area that just happen to be on my network. It's just a normal, there's some stuff that is super suspicious. So in addition to this, when you try to pay your bills as a TI to the ISP, they can never find your network. It is always a problem. You can't even enter in your account number because it is never found. I live it, and I've seen it for others where it's completely normal. I was going to read some more of that, but let's go to this. Okay, let's go to these definitions here. And she gave some pretty good definitions. I don't think, though, that your ASN number is you as a corporation. I think it's the network that you're on, that other people are actually on. What are autonomous system numbers? An autonomous system, AS, is a group of one or more IP prefixes run by one or more network operators that maintain a single clearly defined routing policy. Network operators need autonomous system numbers to control routing within their networks and to exchange routing information with other internet service providers. You see that? Network operators need autonomous system numbers to control routing within their networks and to exchange routing information with other internet service providers. So somebody wants to exchange information, route data from me, they would have a temporary ASN number. Let me read that part right here. Okay, so what are the different types of autonomous systems, right? So H. Michael Sweeney is correct about one kind of them, but there are different types of autonomous system numbers. There are 3 different kinds of autonomous systems. A multi-homed AS connects to 2 or more ASs so it can maintain its internet connection should one AS connection fail. A stub AS connects to only one other AS, though it may have its own private connections not visible to the rest of the internet. Now this is the one that gets interesting. A transit AS acts as a link between 2 or more other ASs, allowing for data to pass through it, even data from unassociated networks. ISPs, for example, offer their customers and their customers' networks access to other networks and the internet via transit AS. Transit AS. So when I bought something on eBay, a transit ASN number was created and it was connected to my network. They're not generally connected to mine. So let me go through some of these, and it might take a little while, but stick with me, guys. So we do what she did first. I got so many tabs open here. My attackers may slow things down a little bit, but this is really important information. So the ipinfo.io, the simple two-step thing, right, on just this method of collecting evidence. And I think there's a lot of promise to this, and I think there's a lot of stuff that we can find, like cross-referencing and making sure and confirming is the thing that I think we all need to talk about, right? And I just think that dismissing this stuff is way more than a mistake. Is way more than a mistake. And I think there's some complicated stuff that even I'm kind of doubting that we're going to find, right? But I think that there's all kind of layers, there's all kinds of connections into your network and into you, especially targeted individuals with implants. But we know that there's nanotechnology, so there's even signals that can be transmitted to those from a microwave tower, and drones and things like that, right? I do think there's some more sophisticated stuff that I don't know, like maybe we can make some connections, right? But so you go, and this is mine right here. You get not the one at the bottom. This is Google right here, but you get the ASN number kind of in the middle of the box under this blue thing right here. You get your ASN number. So that's step one, ipinfo.io. It will automatically give you your ASN number. So you just come to ipinfo.io. It's automatically going to show your ASN number for your computer, right? And I think your computer, your phone, and you, if you have implants, is going to be on this wireless network. So let me show you something. Let me show you what made me very suspicious. Maybe if I wouldn't have found this information, I would have looked at those targeted individuals that were like, hey, this is, disinfo or whatever. So here, so you go to AS rank, you get your AS number, you go to asrank.caida.org, right? You see my AS name, ATT, Internet 4. So I believe that it is an internet work. It's internet. Oh, my attackers just blasted me. It's an internet. It's an internet group. That's not the word I wanted to use, but it's not us as an individual, right? It is something that a lot of people are going to be on there using the same ASN number, but then there's going to be these transit ASN numbers created to connect to you, to connect to your network, maybe to collect data that implants are getting, right? And I know to some of you, like, I'm not convinced. Let's look at some of these names. Some of these names are going to be communication companies, and I've got to learn more about this, guys. So I'm not trying to act like I know everything. I'm just trying to bottom line it. We need to be doing this stuff. We can find a lot of information. See, I have Bell Canada on mine too. I think that may be one that everybody's going to have, because your data and your internet is routed through a lot of communications companies, right? But we've got a cross-reference. SHP is saying something else. We just have to do this, and we have to exchange notes on it and find out exactly what we're looking at, because when you're talking about ISPs and internet networks and everything and what signifies what, it does get complicated. But let me show you some of these really, really suspicious ones. Yeah, I'm going to go through. I've got 63 pages here. See, look, this one makes sense. I have a PlayStation. I go on there, like, I buy stuff. I go on the the PlayStation Network store. That makes sense. They're connected to my wireless network. They're not just on there normally, right? They're not just somebody in the area that shares an ASN number. A transit ASN number is connected when they connect to my network, when they connect to my computer, really my PlayStation, because my PlayStation is hooked up to the internet. So that makes sense. A lot of these make sense. We're going to have to figure out, the suspicious ones. We're going to have to figure out how to prove, that they're actually hooked into this. And my attackers are screwing everything up. Move this up. So this is the main thing I want to show y'all. I hope y'all stuck around for this. That's already been 30 minutes. Okay. Just trying not to go too fast. I get ahead of myself and stuff like that. California Technology Agency. That's pretty suspicious right there, but that's not even it. Amazon makes sense. I buy stuff from Amazon. They connect to my network. eBay makes sense. So a lot of these kind of make sense, but then you get to, let me show you. It'll take me a second to get, I think it's on like page 4. I want to show y'all some of the suspicious ones quickly, but I'm going to go through, I think I'm going to sit here and go through a lot of the pages. I didn't write down, but I'll tell you guys some of them if I miss them. Let me show you guys. U.S. Department of State. That's not just somebody just hanging around with the same ASN number in the area. U.S. Department of Energy. These are completely suspicious right there. There's a lot of them, but I wanted to just show the ones that are just Qualcomm is super, super suspicious. Strata Point Technologies. And then we're going to get to some names, and this is why we talk about contractors. We talk about who could be, targeting us, doing the remote neural manipulation, and then we can cross-reference it with some data found about who is actually hacking into our networks. So let me show y'all. Dow Chemical. There's so many, and y'all can my ASN number. Y'all can look at these and compare it to your own. We need to compare what we're finding, and then we need to figure out how to use this information. I think cross-referencing it with information that we're finding off the apps in people's Wi-Fi networks hooked into ours in the area is going to be very promising. There's a lot of promise to this, and I'm not, like, even though I work for Dell, I can play video games and, work a computer, but when you start talking about ISP numbers and everything like that, I've still got a whole lot to learn. If it's going to help us to find evidence, though, look, Eli Lilly and Company, to have Eli Lilly on there, Cisco Systems Incorporated, Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman is a government contractor that does training and research and development for directed energy weapons and manufactures directed energy weapons. Is Northrop Grumman just on my ASN network by chance? They're just a business in the area that uses the same ASN network? No, if you see eBay, you see Amazon, you see those things that linked up with my data, right? Because I went to buy something or something like that. So you see Northrop Grumman, they connect it to my network. And I think the ASN numbers are, it's the network that we're on, right? I need to figure out more. I need to study this more, but I just want to show y'all the L3 Technologies, guys. Look, Northrop Grumman, L3 Technologies. These are both weapons manufacturers. BAE Systems. Remember, guys? BAE Systems, I was talking about that. They make microwave weapons and everything like that. I haven't gone to any of these people's websites. Like, I haven't gone to Northrop Grumman's website, L3 Technologies website, BAE Systems website. These are, all three of these are government weapons manufacturers. They test directed energy weapons. That's not all. That's just three right there. Department of Veterans Affairs, Duke Energy Corporation, a lot of insurance companies, a lot of fatality insurance companies are connected to my ASN. Emerson Electric Company, United Healthcare, Dell, Eversource Energy, New Wave Communications. Let me get to it. But basically, Honeywell is on here. Like Honeywell. Oh god, my attackers are just like blanking out my head. Honeywell is on here, and also the big one, Lockheed Martin, is on here. This is completely suspicious. SHP is on to something, and my friend in Canada is also doing this. Look, the SAS Institute Incorporated. How to prove they're connected in. We're going to have to cross-reference it with some other things that we're doing. We don't want to make assumptions, right? And we need to look into it more. But SHP is very smart, and I don't think we should be. I think we should be working on this. That's kind of my main point about this. But I'll show you some other ones. You got Blue Cross Blue Shield, insurance company, a lot of insurance companies. Ochsner is on here, guys. Y'all have heard me talk about Ochsner, Cedars-Sinai Health Systems, Ball State University, Lamb Research Corporation, and I've got to look into these. I got to look them up. 63 pages for my ASN number. And we got to compare notes, like what other target individuals are seeing on that are connected to their ASN numbers, and kind of what I want it to do is find somebody who's not targeted and see what is connected to their ASN numbers, see if it looks completely different. I'm screwed. Like if most of these companies are like collecting data as a commodity or a stock, right? Because we are seen as like commodity. We're not even seen as people. Me and my friend in Canada were talking about that, where we're like not even seen as human beings. California Department of Justice, U.S. Securities and Exchange. These are not things in my area that are just on my internet network. These are very suspicious. Everybody needs to check this out. Do the two-step process and see what is connected to you, and look into suspicious hospitals, insurance companies, tech companies, weapons contractors. If you've got weapons contractors, I've got like all the weapons contractors on mine. I don't know what that means, right? SageNet LLC. I've got to look into it more, but this can get us pointed in a direction to the Boeing company. 223 number of pass. A lot of these weapons manufacturers have more numbers of pass. I think that means they connect to the system more. Look, Lockheed Martin. This is just one page. Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Space Systems, Loral Incorporated. These are just normal ones that are just hanging out on your network? No way. Mount Sinai School of Medicine, California Department of Transportation. There's more. There's more weapons contractors on my ASN number. Boeing, Space Systems Incorporated, Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems from before. Let me show you. Honeywell's on there. L3 Systems is weapon manufacturers and weapons research, directed energy weapons research. And I am very sure that I'm implanted, guys. So I could see if they're connecting to my ASN number, because I'm getting frequencies directed to implants in my body. Now I'm getting other stuff too, right? I'm getting external stuff that they don't need implants for, but they use the implants to lock on to me, right? To actually target me, position me, GPS me, and then they actually do use them to pulse in my nervous system, to do neurostimulation and things like that. But can you imagine? I've got one contractor, and I don't know. It seems like it's a contractor under the NSA, but I'm not 100% sure. But so you get that contractor doing the research, but then that data that they're collecting, that information or that signal, other contractors can collect that information. So it's like this web of contractors, working off of us, tapping into our data from our computers, phones, and our bodies and our brains to collect this data. And that's like the saying in society that the big data is king. Like that's where you make money, collecting data, right? From people's computers, people's phones, but especially in this day and age, collecting information from their body and their brain. Raytheon, 332 pass. Raytheon, like all the weapons manufacturers are on my ASN number, guys. That cannot just be like, oh, these are just people in your area using the same internet network. It cannot. It's too suspicious. And my other targeted individual friend is finding like all these very, very suspicious communications tech companies and hospitals, like the hospital where he thinks that he got implanted at is on his ASN number. So how it all works, like like how we are sold as a stock or a commodity, right? And how we are treated, in this financial gain system and torture system. I don't know. That's complicated, right? But this gets us moving in a certain direction where we can find more evidence. And I do think it's very promising. And we just got it. This is very safe, right? We're just looking at people connected to our network and then figuring out where to go from there, who exactly to give that evidence to. But it can give us a direction. It can confirm things that we've been talking about. These certain weapons contractors that are doing this from third-party contractors and private security companies, right? And intelligence agencies, it can line some things up. And then, from what SHP and my other friend are saying, it can do a lot more. I need to do it myself, right? I don't want to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, we found the evidence. Good, I think that SHP is very, very smart, and I want to support her. But I need to do some of this stuff myself, see how far I can get, what kind of layers I can find out stuff about. But my bottom line is, do not dismiss this stuff. We need to be finding evidence from anywhere that we can. Pavlov Media Incorporated, that sounds kind of suspicious, but there's tons more. I have tons more weapons manufacturers, and then I have a bunch of fatality insurance companies. Progressive Fatality Insurance Company, Google Switzerland, Cognizant Technology Solutions, a bunch of banks. Like, I'm screwed. If like these people are connected to us as a corporate in Honeywell. Look, Honeywell, 279 number of paths, customer. And when somebody connects to your ASN number, it's like eBay, right? I went to their website to buy something, used a credit card. They tapped in a trace ASN number to connect to my network and collect data. Like, and then I'm seeing weapons manufacturers doing that too. Parsons Corporation. Let's go down and look at a couple. New York City Police Department. Definitely not people like in my area. It's like an international thing, right? Humana, St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital, just Alabama law enforcement, General Electric Company. I guess I won't go through all 63 pages. I put my ASN number up, which I don't know if it's a risk or not. See, Zoom. Look, I use Zoom, right? I used Zoom way back when. I stopped using Zoom a while back, but it makes sense that they would have a trace ASN number to my network, right? Because I was like using them. They collect data from me. Look, so Zoom makes sense, right? It's making a trace ASN number. I've had dealings with Zoom, right? I use Zoom. But weapons manufacturers make no sense. Look, Cineverse Technologies, LLC, Progressive Casualty Insurance, United States Department of Justice, United States Department of Justice. And so the United States Department of Justice is connected to my ASN. Department of Homeland Security, and then what was the other one? Department of Health, Department of Energy. They're all connected to my ASN number. You think that's just a coincidence of people on your network? No way. Like, no way. These are trace ASN numbers being connected. Alaska. Dude, it's suspicious, like, on every page. Their Department of Homeland Security. Like, on every page. Like, I go through 60 something and there's all these tech companies, hospitals, insurance companies, banks. Oshner, I'll show you guys the Church of Scientology. Church of Scientology shows up 3 times on my ASN number. Are there any churches of Scientology in Louisiana? None that I know of. Why would they be creating trace ASN numbers to actually tap into my data, to tap into my ASN number? And like I said, I need to learn more about this, right? But I'm showing you guys these very super suspicious things because I don't want people to dismiss this stuff. We just need to do it safely. We need to talk about it safely. We need to compile evidence. We need to cross-reference it with other applications and things that we're finding, right? We need to be careful about it. But to dismiss this would be folly. It would be folly. And I need to, it's pretty technical. And I need to, watch some more of SHP's video. Mischievous M's working on stuff. We need to look into the stuff. We can start peeling away layers. How far it gets us, what can we do with the evidence? Those are questions we need to discuss. But man, oh man, it would be a mistake for people to be like, no, that's like disinformation, blah, blah, blah. I think that's a huge mistake. Exactly what we're finding, what we're looking at when we see our ASN number. Is it just showing us an individual corporation? I don't know. Like, I think that it's showing our network, our AT&T network, but that doesn't mean, it's like this stuff's pretty complicated. So we've all got to kind of work on it and put in our expertise. You IT guys that are dismissing this, some IT guys, I'm sure some IT guys are like, yeah, there's something to that. Like, I think I'm going to talk to the FCC, some organizations, and find out exactly what it means. I'm going to speak to them in general, right? Look, Mercer Incorporated. So I think I'm going to talk to like the FCC and some internet people and see exactly what it could mean. find out more information. But the people that on SHP's page were saying like this is like blah blah, that it doesn't mean anything. Why do I have weapons manufacturers where there are none in my city? There are no, I don't know. There's probably weapons manufacturers in my city, but all of them, like all of them, really. First Technology Solutions, Sorensen Communications, Viacom, Georgia Department of Transportation, Very Medical Systems International, QS1 Data Systems. Some of these, like I have Disney streaming service, so some of these could be like just from connections I've made on the internet, but there's too many super suspicious ones that I've had no dealings with. I don't see why they'd be connected to my network because they're not just companies in the area. Aurora Healthcare. Let's just go through them. We'll just go through them and I'll show you guys. Information Technology Systems, and I'm a little bit worried because everybody else is finding like 10 pages around about there, and I have like 63 for my ASN number. I know I've been tortured since I was, well, not tortured, but I've been hooked up since I was like very little, maybe even when I was born. And then but the targeting is very sophisticated. Like they're doing some very sophisticated things to the brain and the nervous system. They've been doing this protocol, right? This trauma-based mind control protocol, external hits and microwaves, and it's been very sophisticated. So I guess I'm not surprised that other weapons contractors, would maybe be collecting data off of this. How do they share data? How does that, like, so they're collecting data from remote neural manipulation, remote neural monitoring. So how do they share that data when they're mapping a brain out and everything like that? Well, maybe we found an answer. Maybe we found a layer of it. Maybe we found a layer of it. Information Technology Systems, New York Life Insurance Company, tons of insurance companies on here. This is crazy. There's no way that this is just a common thing. There's no way that this is just like, oh well, that's your internet network. These are just businesses like in your area. Or why would I have like all the weapons manufacturers, like all these United States weapons contractors and researchers connected to my ASN number? Delta Technology. All of these are just like, all the communications companies and hospitals are super suspicious. Bacchus Data Systems. I think there is a lot to this, guys. I think we all need to try it. We all need to compare notes, and then we need to cross-reference with other information that we're finding. SunTrust Banks. There's some other, Port Authority of New York. Got Disney on here a bunch. Monsanto. 225 patents. Monsanto. Why do I have Monsanto on my ASN network? Dude, I think I'm not gonna freak out, but like some of the companies I have on here, it seems like they would be, passing around data, from me for a long time. So there's a lot of money in this. There's a lot of data collected off of like our information, not only for corporations, for like what we're looking at, right? What we're looking at on our computers and our phones and things like that's a certain layer of it, but then actually our thoughts and like what they're doing to us and everything like that. Borealis Broadband Incorporated, John Hancock Life Insurance. GameStop, I haven't been to a GameStop in a while. That could actually be somebody in my area on my ASN network. You see, so I think that the people who were naysayers were right in a certain way. Like there are people on your ASN network that it makes sense. They're supposed to be there. right? But then there's some that you've never had dealings with, like weapons manufacturers, like contractors that, like, why are they on my ASN network? There's a bunch of them that, I haven't checked out which contractors are in my city, but I'm sure not all of them are located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And that's probably not how it works. It is international, but it just is very, very suspicious. And I want to show you guys. Boeing's on there again, just like the Church of Scientology is on there like 3 times. Boeing's on there. My attackers say, well, they don't say, but I say, hey, are y'all NSA? And they say, yeah. And that's the only one they say yeah to. So I kind of think that, they're working for a contractor under the NSA. Mine are. That doesn't mean that your attackers are definitely a contractor under the NSA, because there's so many intelligence agencies and DoD agencies that contract this kind of experimentation and torture out. So many groups that do it. It's like this. Like I was talking to my target individual friend, I said it's like a spider web inside of a pyramid, right? I think I've mentioned that on videos too. Synopsys Incorporated, a bunch of universities, St. Jude. I worked for St. Jude though, so that one could actually be, could be one of the normal ones. I think there's some on here that make a lot of sense. That I've either visited the website or whatever. I bought stuff on eBay. Well, I tried to buy something on eBay. The guy was like, "You're not you haven't. What do you do? You like rate other eBay sellers or whatever?" And I was just going on there because I wanted an old PlayStation 3. And he was like, I've got to cancel the sale. Like, I put my credit card number in. Like, all you had to do was send me the stuff. But he's like, I've had bad experiences with people who haven't rated other sellers or whatever. And I had waited like 3 weeks. I was like, man, this PlayStation 3 is taking a long time to get to my house. So after 3 weeks, like, I finally like saw it in my email, and he was like, I had to cancel the transaction. New Wave Industries Incorporated, Washoe County, Quality Technology Service. There's some more really weird ones on here. Argon Technologies Incorporated. Just page after page of contractors, tech companies, insurance companies, hospitals, Alliant Energy, Department of Energy, and a bunch of energy companies, Aero Electronics. This is weird, guys. I want targeted individuals to do this, so we can say, like, if you're getting targeted, what does yours look like? Do you have contractors on there? If every targeted individual has like weapons contractors, tech companies, and we're seeing some of the same stuff, then we know it's not just like, oh, well, this is just, who's on your internet network. I don't think it's that anyway, but I'm just saying we need to confirm. We need to try this. Aris Communications, Secure Data 365, JP Morgan Chase and Company, Dialink Corporation, Beta Systems, some that are very, very super suspicious. Goldman & Sachs. Super weird. This is super weird. And why do I have so many pages? I want to see if other target individuals are getting like 60-something pages. This is something that I'm not sure of, right? I'm just like, I think that I've been targeted for a very long time. And so I think a lot of people have accessed my data, like accessed implants, accessed my internet, accessed my computer, accessed a lot of information, like on my network. Ochsner. You'll hear me talking about Ochsner all the time. Ochsner Clinic Foundation. 124. How are my attackers... How do they keep changing that? Okay. Yeah, and they're like hitting me really hard. Like when I found this and I want to make a video about it, they're like hitting me really hard. So I'm having a hard time, explaining like what I've researched, what I've found, everything like that. They're freaking. Like my attackers are freaking. Maybe it's a psyop or whatever, but they're on the V2K. Like I was like, oh man, I found some good evidence, and the woman's like, yeah, he actually found some stuff, and the guy's like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Could just be the chatterbox, but H&R Block, Parallax Systems, Ochsner Clinic. Is it 2 times? Was it on there? Bellwether Technology, Florida Technology, Innovative Communications. I think I just want to go through it all, guys. And I mean, Greenville Hospital System, Premier Global Services, SAIC. SAIC is on mine. Monsanto is on mine. This is just cannot just be people that are normally on your network. SAIC is, what does it stand for? It's like science, sustainability, and social responsibility. They're all hooked into Agenda 21. I forgot what it stands for. It's like science and something. Look at the brain. Thoughts from our experts on a variety of industry matters. Redefining ingenuity. So all these tech companies and people all wrapped up. SAIC wins $630 million Air Force contract for modernizing infrastructure. And are they contracting out to the Air Force Research Laboratory for actual directed energy weapons testing, remote neural manipulation testing? These are the kind of companies that do this crap to us. Like, there's no way that that's a coincidence. There's just no way. No way. SAIC is on there. The thing that I'm thinking is SAIC might not be doing my direct torture, right? They may be doing direct torture and experimentation on another targeted individual, but all these contractors share data. They share data from our network, which means like our computer, phone, internet network, but also implants, body area networks. And somebody was saying like, no, your body area networks would not have the same ASN number as your computer, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think so. What I'm looking at and the suspicious nature of what's connected to my ASN, I would say that's a very, very good possibility that our implants are connected to this ASN number because they're sending signals probably from the same microwave towers that they're sending to the computer, like the internet networks, to the phone and everything like that, to implants. Different transceivers on the microwave towers, right? And there's other stuff that they do, right? But this is a layer. 21st Century Insurance Group, Nestle. Nestle's really evil. We all know that. Mercury Insurance Group. Just so many insurance companies. L3 Networks Incorporated. L3's on there a bunch. L3 Network. L3 is a contractor. Is United States government contractor for directed energy weapons training, research, and development. Cypress Semiconductor. Tell me that's not suspicious. Flexera Software LLC. There's something to this, guys. Like, I feel it in my bones. Insurance Services Office. Synopsys Incorporated. I think that was on there before. There's a lot of suspicious ones that I'm not even like saying, but I guess you guys can like. I don't know if it's a risk for me to give out my ASN number. SHP gave out hers too. Well, she just was going through it, right? And I think I don't think it's a risk. Qualcomm is on there again. Look, here you go. Church of Scientology. Church of Scientology International 204. It seems to be like I'm looking at things like I went to eBay a little while ago and I have that connection to my ASN number by eBay, and it seems to be in like this time period. And I remember when I was really looking into Church of Scientology a lot. Like I was doing videos about it and everything like that. Now it could have been that. It could have been they're checking me out while I'm checking them out. They just look up everybody's data that is like looking into them, or they could be working with some of this technology and working with some of the gang stalking, receiving data from people actually being targeted. I need to find out more. I think I'm just going to go through all the pages, guys. It won't take long. We'll hang out and just go through the pages. Just want to show y'all, it's just so freaking suspicious. Morpho Trust USA Incorporated, Broadway Technology LLC. Please, somebody else have this many pages on your ASN number. General Electric Consumer Vulcan Materials Company, Telit IoT Platforms LLC, Comnexia Corporation, CareTech Solutions. I gotta screen record this like every page. Like I know it's up on YouTube now, and I'll save this video. When we get data like this, make sure you screen record it, because I don't know if they can come in. Look, here's Lockheed Martin again. Lockheed Martin's on there like 3 or 4 times. And I think it's that trace ASN number being created and connected to your account because they're getting some kind of data from your network. Now, are there other people on the network? Yes. But when you're seeing suspicious ones, it's like, well, I think this contractor actually, does training and research and development with directed energy weapons. Then they show up on your ASN network. You can make a connection there. Then we're going to have to find a way to cross-reference it with other things that we're finding, right? Winters Broadband LLC, Lockheed Martin. Raytheon again. There's Raytheon again. 320 paths. Ecolab Incorporated. She's right. Like labs, weapons manufacturers, insurance companies, they shouldn't be connected to our ASN. She's completely right. She's completely right. I think people are dismissing it way too early, because I think there are some corporations, there are people on your ASN network that like maybe you went to their internet site and they just created a temporary ASN number to get data from you or whatever, because that's just like an automatic thing their website does. Or maybe there are people that actually share that network and go through peer so their internet will stay faster. Maybe that's true, but you shouldn't have weapons manufacturers, labs, hospitals. Well, I mean, maybe there's a hospital in the area that uses a peer-to-peer thing to be faster, right? I get that. But then there's ones that are just super suspicious, like Quest Software Incorporated. Quest Software. I hope this really F's them over me just putting this stuff out on the internet. Like, I hope that it's something that other people can look at and know what we're looking at. SageNet, and I hope it really screws them over. This is unbelievable how many pages of like contractors, tech companies, Monsanto, like that's just a normal thing to have Monsanto connected to your ASN number. St. Luke's Health System, State Farm Mutual Automobile. I've never had State Farm insurance. Like, wouldn't you see a bunch of fast food restaurants and like sit down restaurants in the area if it was just people like using networks and stuff like that? Wouldn't you have a bunch of like really like randomized businesses, if that made any sense? Delta Dental, California. Pacific Life Insurance Company. Lots of life insurance, lots of fatality insurance companies hooked up to my ASN number. There's something to this. Iridium Satellite LLC. That's not weird, right? Iridium Satellite LLC, 119 paths in the ASN account. And we'll see, because I'm about to upload this video after I get done, and we'll see if my attackers, Dynamic Quest Incorporated, Tolt Solutions, Spectra Energy Corporation. Are we in suspicious territory here, guys? I think we're in suspicious territory here. And I have all the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, Department of Energy. I have all those connecting to my ASN number. Roosevelt University. This is crazy. It does make sense. I've been targeted for so long, and it's very sophisticated brain torture. So like, I'm not surprised that like I'm kind of extra screwed with all these companies taking a piece of me, if that's what we're looking at. BE Aerospace Incorporated. Just everybody needs to do this so we can like compare notes. Like, what's going on here? Encore Electric Delivery Company, SunGuard Energy and something, Raycom Media Incorporated, SHI International Corp, AE Corporate Services, VWR International, Digital Globe Incorporated. Going to go through them all here, guys. Oshkosh Corporation, Oshkosh, gosh. Shaw Industries Group, Aflac, tons of insurance. Critical Mass Incorporated, Canada Corporation, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Landstar System Incorporated. There's some Israeli tech companies on my ASN number. We're going to get to those because I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to tell y'all the suspicious ones that I found here. General Electric. See, Men's Warehouse. That makes sense. Maybe they're just using my ASN number. I've never bought anything there. Urban Science Applications. That's not suspicious. Automatic Data Processing, DHI Computing Service, SE2 Incorporated, Omnicare Incorporated. I think it is. I think some of these people are creating transit ASN numbers and they're taking a slice of us. Like they're collecting data off of what's happening to us. And they share data in that certain way. There's probably data shared in other ways of what they're doing to us, but it's like we are like a commodity. Like we're not even human beings to these people that are carving us up with microwaves and raping our brain. You know, there's so much greed involved in this. I kind of question a little bit people that are like, oh no, there's no money involved in this stuff. No, this is a huge, organized, a lot of people making money off of murdering people. It's hard to even, I mean, it's so unbelievable what's happening. Dynatrace, Royal Bank of Canada, Medline Industries, XCast Labs, bunch of labs in here. You guys got to check yours out and see. Devon Energy Corporation, lots of energy companies. Department of Energy and lots of energy companies, lots of air laboratories, DataServe. It's very suspicious. This is very suspicious. And we need to learn more about this and what the hell is going on here, right? Info Directions Incorporated, Telecommunications PLC in Israel. So I got Telecommunications PLC connect it to my ASN network. We know Israel is like backdoored into like every technology in the United States with the blessing of the United States government, probably the military-industrial probably the military-industrial complex, because like Mossad is probably planted within the CIA and other intelligence agencies, because everything is insane. Coyote Logistics LLC, HCA Information Technologies, Praxair Incorporated, TechVault Incorporated, Canadian Ambulance Service, Farmers Group Incorporated, another insurance company. Maybe that makes sense. I've never been to a Love's Travel Shop. They could be sharing my ASN network. That kind of makes sense. Omni Data LLC. Just going through all of them, guys. I just want to show y'all because there's some that are just super suspicious. SEI Investments, Globalscape Incorporated, Farmers Group, again, another insurance company that I've never had insurance at. Church Pension Group, Skynet Country LLC, Athena Health, Information Technology Corporations, Idea Lab, Oracle Corporation, Holy Jaboli, Sysmex, Aris Technology Incorporated, Pandora Media Incorporated, Pinnacle Data Systems LLC, oh my god, Athena Health again, Genomic Health Incorporated, Collective Health Incorporated, Albemarle. My grandpa worked for Albemarle, but I've never, you know, I guess, what do they do? They're like engineers and stuff like that. IBM, Era Energy, another energy company. Petco. I've been to Petco. I bought stuff from Petco. Could be that one. Like a long time ago, I bought stuff from Petco. Mylan Pharmaceuticals, Biorad Laboratories, California Physicians Service. Why is it specifically like you know, hospitals, universities, labs, weapons manufacturers, tech companies? Why is it specifically that we're seeing all over our ASN networks? Secure Global Solutions LLC, AOC Solutions, NASCAR. Never had any dealings with NASCAR. Global Linking Solutions, Golden Gate University, Central Coast Internet. Is this Children's Hospital of Oshner? No, Children's Hospital of Orange County. Zetra Networks Incorporated, Radiology Society of North America or something like that. Let's check that one out. Radiological Society of North America. There you go. That's not suspicious at all. This is effed. This is so effed. And I just, like, my instinct and spider sense is like there is something to this. exactly what, how to explain it, why they're connected to my data. Like, I'm going to listen to SHP more. I'm going to look into it more, but there's definitely something up where we should be looking into this stuff. Most definitely. Like, without a doubt. Without a doubt, bottom line, it's not a waste of time at all. Domino's Pizza. There's some more contractors on here too. Regal Entertainment Group. I've been to movies like way back then. See, so some of these make a lot of sense that they would be connected. They would create trace ASN numbers to me. And then some that probably aren't connected to me. They're probably just using the same network. But when you see like all these weapons contractors connected to the ASN network that you're on, it's super suspicious. When corporations can make trace ASN numbers to actually collect data from your wireless network. Leapfrog Technologies Incorporated. Century Medical Products. Oh my god, why do I have so many pages? Come on, everybody else had like 10 or something. One Technologies. I'll show you Scientology. Church of Scientology is on here like 4 times. Verifone Incorporated. Avatara LLC, Halifax Media Group, Motorist Mutual Insurance, Citizens Energy Corp, Omnicell Incorporated. Okay, only a few more to go, guys. I just want to go through these and show y'all. Providence Hospital, Sonic Healthcare USA, WB Games makes sense. Like, I used to play this online DC online game like a long time ago, like years ago. So I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure about that, but some of them I'm like, yeah, oh, I've been on the internet, like, so some of them make sense. Security Benefit, Allegiance Health Services, Concurrent Technologies Corporation, Bell Technologics, Arrowhead General Insurance, so many insurance companies, Memorial Healthcare System, Interactive Brokers, bunch of banks, like so many banks on here. Heartflow Incorporated, EnergyNet.com Incorporated, Buddhist Suz Chi Foundation, In-N-Out Burgers. That could be just somebody in my area on the same ASN network. Locked In Companies. Probably In-N-Out Burgers are going to get my meat when I die. Really bad joke, sorry. Really bad joke. The Rawlings Company, Haggerty Insurance Agency, St. John Health System, Solstice Lab Partners LLC, Lear Corporation, the Lear Corporation, A lot of aerospace. McDonald's is on there. Supply Technologies LLC. Like all the weapons manufacturers really, get my suspicions going. So why would they just be normally on my ASN, on my internet network? Superior Court of California. Okay, like 10 more to go, guys. A little bit more than 10 more. I just want to go through. Geico, Dudek, Walser Technology Group Incorporated, Heart Systems again, Department of Public Health, Integral Solutions Group, ShoreTel Incorporated, Caris Diagnostics Incorporated, Bayer, the Bayer Corporation, Customized Energy Solutions, Jelly Belly Candy Company, Surgical Notes, MDP. My attackers keep screwing that up. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Safety Insurance Company, Green Mountain Technology, SailPoint Technologies Incorporated, Datamax Incorporated, California Joint Powers Insurance, Infinite Energy Incorporated, another energy company, Citizen Watch, company of, what is that? Citizen Watch, Company of America. Citizen Watch, I need to look them up. Citizen Watch, Company of America Incorporated. That's super suspicious. Plexus Systems Incorporated, U.S. Department of State, again, U.S. Department of State, again. Heart Technologies, so there's an HART Technologies Incorporated, and then there's a actual HEART Technologies Incorporated. SOCON Technologies. This is crazy. Like if a lot of these tech companies and labs and weapons manufacturers are like accessing my data throughout my torture, and like this is a list and like where they're showing up, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. It has to be. I mean, everything's so insane in the world. Every bend that I go around, things just, it's like, oh, things are actually that crazy. East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Department, Automobile Protection Corporation, Hematogenics Laboratory something, Hematogenics Laboratory Services LLC. Everybody's getting a piece of the old Kyle-meister here. Texas Life Insurance Company, a lot of fatality insurance company and life insurance companies are connected to my ASN number. SWC Technology Partners, Cisco Systems again, CPS Logistics. I had to go through a couple of pages where there, nothing that I looked at just jumped out at me, But you know, some of these tech companies have weird names in health companies, like health services companies. I mean, this is how they make tons of money off of us. Applied Systems Incorporated, IBM, Transaction Data Systems, Honeywell. Like Honeywell's on here. Honeywell is a a United States contractor and weapons manufacturer and training, research, and developer of directed energy weapons and stuff like that. I've never talked about Honeywell. Like I've never gone to their website. I've never mentioned them like on videos. But like I know that they're a weapons contractor and they showed up, right? So that kind of kicks out the like, oh, well, you just visited their website or something like that, right? A lot of them, I don't really visit their websites and things like that. Emerson Climate Technologies, Presidium Incorporated, Smart Home Incorporated, America Central Transport, lots of transportation, like state transportation agencies, stuff like that. Memorial Care Health System, CSG Systems Incorporated, Acalon, I don't know how to pronounce that. Acalon Technology, what is it? I don't know how to pronounce. Acalon and Technology Incorporated. You guys try that one. Echelon. It's Echelon Technology Incorporated. BWX Technologies, RCM Technologies, Freeman Health System, Suspicious Incorporated, like super Suspicious Incorporated, and F'd Up Incorporated. Let's see. Almost to the end, guys. Just want to show you all these. Operational Technologies, ChildNet Incorporated, Plex Systems Incorporated again. Allegiant Technology, Wow Logistics Company, Venture Tech Solutions LLC, Accident Fund Insurance Company. What if I get into an accident while they're gang stalking me and shoot me with microwaves in my car? Like, you know, so automobile insurance, fatality insurance, life insurance, like all these things are connected. Very, very suspicious. Very, 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 very suspicious. Comtech Telecommunications. See, look, so my ASN number, ASN name, ATT Internet 4, right? So there's some people connected to my, like there's other people just using this network, right? But then certain people, like if you go, yeah, I mean, I explained it, right? You go to their website, they create a trace ASN number to get to connect it to your data, your information. Why would I have weapons contractors on my ASN network? Very suspicious when you're being remote neural manipulated, experimented on, and hit with directed energy weapons, gang stalked, you know, tortured death. Beloit Health System Incorporated, CAS Information Systems. I think we can look at these. We can see a lot of these universities, health corporations, tech companies, weapons contractors, and weapons developers. Like these contractors, we can all put our notes together and we'll know who to look into, right? That's just even like on a lower level of what we can find. Methodist Hospital, Spectra Laboratories again, Community Mental Health something, Pennsylvania House of Representatives, Industrial Scientific Corporation. Wow, what a name. Industrial Scientific Corporation. Wow, it doesn't set off any bells. Is that how the saying goes? Dow Chemical employees, something something. Dow Chemical on there a bunch of times. Church of Scientology again. Church of Scientology's on there like 3 times. Church of Scientology Flag Service Organization Incorporated. How many paths do they have to me? Just 8. I don't know what that means though. Torrent Technologies Incorporated. General Dynamics, probably General Dynamics Information Systems, and General Dynamics Information Technology Incorporated. Oh, how long have we been going? Okay, an hour and a half. Well, people can kind of just watch the beginning. Spectra Laboratories, Core Laboratories, Laboratories. Look, State Farm Mutual Automobile Insurance. Like, are they? I mean, like, okay, this is just a guess, right? But like all these automobile insurance companies and fatality insurance companies and life insurance companies, I could see where life insurance companies, they would maybe be creating these payouts, like if I die from directed energy weapons torture. But like a lot of times I've had to drive while being microwaved to death, and remote neural manipulator, they somehow swinging this to make money off of, like, oh well, he's like being tortured and researched on in his car, so that causes some kind of liability which they can get some kind of payout on. You know, what kind of, I mean, we're looking at in every country, crime as a way of life, like the leadership or criminals, what they're doing to citizens or criminal. Like, what are we looking at here? You know, what kind of selling and buying people and just like making money off of their data are we looking at? Atmos Energy Corp, Aero International Incorporated again, C-Space, SOS, Radial Incorporated, Dana Innovation, Cumberland Electric something, Sparrow Health System, Communications Data Group, Air Medical Group Holdings, SAIA Motor Freight Line, Anderson Hospital, Suncast Corporation, DRS Technologies Incorporated, Nectar Therapeutics. Sounds like a He-Man villain or something. Nectar. Broadwaves Communication, California Secretary of State. The California Secretary. Why is California, like, why do I have all this crap from California? Like California Transportation, California Department of Justice. Like, why is California, like, why are, you know, California Secretary of State? It must be from a long time ago though. I don't know if that's right, like looking at it on a like timeline thing. Up to date Incorporated, MLS Listings Incorporated, Chelsea Communications Incorporated, Alpha Tech Cambridge Group, New Tech Computer Systems, Big Five Corporation, 5 Prime Therapeutics Incorporated, Network Attacks Incorporated, Precision Computer Services, Layered Plastics, Kinray Incorporated. Or like Buffalo, where they're just like making money off of murdering us and destroying our brains and nervous systems and pain levels and trauma, and like if we have to drive while being tortured, probably like setting up, you know, automobile insurance that we don't know about, like life insurance and all this crap, and just making money off the whole process of criminally terrorizing and ripping apart somebody's family. The Andersons Incorporated. It's like the Andersons from The Matrix. It's a bunch of Andersons Incorporated. I'm just joking. Tinemek Company Incorporated. Nectar Therapeutics again. Nectar. Neuropace. Rockford Health System. Compliant Pharmacy Alliance. Good name for criminals who murder people, like the military-industrial complex ones. Binary Defense Systems LLC. So I will be looking them up. I'm gonna learn more information about like when they connected, like how I can tell exactly if they, you know, connected to me. Like, you know, I'm just gonna find more information. It's gonna find out more information. Global Imaging Systems Incorporated. Neil Medical Group. Southeastern Asset. Okay, this is the second to last page, so we're almost done here, guys. But y'all saw the weapons contractors, right? Y'all saw those? Ferris Manufacturing Corporation. Groupware Technology. There's some unknowns. There's a lot of unknowns along the way, which is kind of weird. Seemed like there were more weapons contractors towards the end, and now there's more unknowns at the end. I'm not sure about that, guys. Like, I'm not sure about that. But there's just something to this. 9/11 Memorial is on there. What's that about? Emmanuel Medical Center. CloudGenix. First Technology Services. First Carbon Solutions was on there. Kinetic Concepts Incorporated. IBM again. IBM's on there a lot. And then the first one on here, ICE Processing International. ICE Processing International Limited in the United Kingdom. ICE Futures. I guess I'll look them up. I don't think it's like ice, like, you know, blocks of ice or anything like that. I just found the weapons contractors on there severely interesting, not in a good way, like really suspicious. Honeywell, Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems, like can't remember the other ones. Northrop Grumman, Boeing. Boeing's on there like 3 times. The Church of Scientology. What is going on here? You guys try this and let me know if you have as many pages as me. Let's kind of compare notes on this stuff. All right, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. I just wanted to go through and just show y'all the suspicious nature of this, and I'm gonna be researching it more. But I think this is headed in the right direction. Like, this is peeling away layers of people hooked into our stuff. Not only our internet networks, but you know, things that are maybe connected to implants and collecting data off of it. You know, we need to get closer to seeing exactly, you know, how it all works with some, you know, not, you know, we know contractors are doing training, research, and development on us in conjunction with like DHS fusion centers, InfraGard, and the gang stalking stuff. We know all that, but exactly how we're treated on an open market, I think we can learn a lot about that, about how they're treating us like a commodity to collect data off of. And certain companies are allowed to just kind of come in, they buy like a share of you, they buy like a piece of you, your data. So we just need to learn more about this. Wow. I think we're going to have some of the same ones. Some of the major routers, some of the major international routers, we may all show those because they route data and connections between ASN numbers and things like that. But ones that are very, very suspicious, there's something to that. There's something to that. Weapons contractors being connected to my ASN networks, tech companies, laboratories, hospitals, life insurance companies, fatality insurance. I guess that's life insurance. California Technology Agency, New York State. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, a couple of pages like Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Honeywell. It's like, what? Eli Lilly, Cisco Systems, Qualcomm, things like that. Northrop Grumman, L3 Technologies. These are all like BAE Systems, L3 Technology, Northrop and Grumman. Those are weapons manufacturers. Those are weapons contractors, and they also do training, research, and development. They buy contracts from agencies like the Air Force Research Laboratories or the NSA or the DIA or the CIA or other like Air Force Research Laboratories. There'd be like naval intelligence research, blah, blah, and then there'd be contractors under them. So we know all these contractors test weapons, do remote neural manipulation stuff. Why are they connected to my ASN number? All right, guys, so do those 2 simple steps. I'm going to put it in the description. Like, just go to this website, get your ASN number in kind of the middle of the box, not at the bottom of the box. That's a Google representation number. And then come to this website, asrank.caida.org, and check out who is connecting to your ASN network. I'm going to put that other thing, I'm going to put a connection, a link to SHP's video, to that video, and then I'm going to put that other page that explains in detail, what an ASN number, the different kinds of ASN numbers, and what you're seeing, because some of these make sense. They're like people, I went to their website. Some of them are companies I've never had dealings with, right? And well, the weapons contractors are too, but some of them are just like in and out burgers. That they could be sharing an ASN network in my area, right? So we're gonna have to figure out how to filter that out and how to cross-reference so we can prove some of these contractors are connecting to our data, connecting to us. All right, guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. I know that was long, but I just wanted to go through and just show y'all. It's super suspicious. Why do I have the Church of Scientology connected to my ASN number? And I just think we should all do this. It's very, very simple, and we can find a lot of information. Like, I'm still working with the apps, right? But I'm giving, like, when I use the app, like Wi-Fi tracker and stuff like that, I'm allowing location services when I use the app. And my TI friend is saying I need to just turn it on all the time, right? And SHP says that too. What I'm worried about, though, is you turn on your location services all the time for your phone, and it allows my attackers to pinpoint me easier. It seems like when I do that with other things, I'm targeted worse. But I think I'm going to go ahead and chance it. Just be careful with that. Like, do it for a couple of days, but just be careful with that, guys. We need to be careful with this stuff, be smart with it, but I definitely think it's going in the right direction, and it's collecting evidence. We don't know, even before October, but definitely after October, we might have more people to give evidence to, right? Might have, these investigations are going to be happening in our countries by the UN, hopefully. I'm just going to stay hopeful on it, but then by October, we might actually have some specific people. And so we need to collect this evidence, cross-reference it, and see what we got, right? All right, guys. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one.